Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bree if you are new here, and we're gonna do a little science experiment today. So I saw these on Ulta and I love jellies. I am obsessed with jelly nail polish. It's one of my favorite formulas, and I got suckered into these. And I'm gonna be honest with you, they might actually be one of the most disappointing nail polishes I have ever used. I love the Sally Hansen Insta Dry formula and I love jellies, so I assumed that we would be, killing it. No, we're not. Let me show you these swatch sticks I have here. They're so not going to be in order of what's laid out, but that's completely fine. I just want to point out to you that these swatch sticks that you're seeing, if I can pick this fucking one up, Jesus Christ. These swatch sticks that you are seeing have four thick coats on them. Thick. Like, I'm talking, you can still see the dents in some of them because I had to lay them on so thick. Because at one point I was just like, I gotta see how, how many swatches does this take, And, 4 is too many, frankly. I find 4 to be too many. So, with that being said, I was doing a little digging online and I came across some different ways to make jellies. And I'm just gonna slide these on out of the way. Came across a way to make jellies. And I was like, well, I simply must try this, So I yesterday went to Michael's and Walmart and I picked up all of the things that I would need to make my own jellies. So I just bought 5 bottles of literally just clear top coat. I bought the cheapest one. Oh, I just realized this is not a top coat. Well, base coat, top coat, same shit. Maybe that's why I don't know. I digress. Ignore me. I just bought the cheapest that Walmart had. These are $1. Figured if it works, great. If it doesn't work, I didn't blow a ton of money. But what I put inside of them, let me just grab one of these, are alcohol inks. So these are for like stamp pads and stuff, but they dry super quickly when they're out of their bottle and into their liquid form, but obviously they don't dry quickly in here. Mine were actually on clearance at Michael's, so I may or may not have bought a ton of them. Let me show you the swatch sticks for the 5 that I just kind of created. In hindsight, I should have bought enough to be able to make one of each of the alcohol bottles that I bought so that I could kind of know what I was working with, but you know what? It's fine. Look at that. Also, this is insane. I don't even know if I can get... Like, that's so cool looking. I have never been more excited to do something in my entire life, frankly, than I was with these little make-your-own nail polishes. My mom was needed to go to Walmart today, and I sent her a picture of this bottle. Well, not I sent her the app picture of it so that she didn't get confused. And I was like, buy me all of them. Buy me the whole fucking store. I don't care. I want them. So, with that being said, now that I know what I'm doing, I want to fix these. I want to make them better. Because it just what am I supposed to do with this? What is that? What is that? The only other thing that I could do with these is make them into a top coat that vaguely matches whatever nail art I do. And that's just not the vibe. So we are going to fix these today using alcohol inks. So if you guys, I did this in a weird order. If you guys want to hang out while we fix some Sally Hansen Insta-Dry nail polish. And just keep on watching. So this is what I was kind of doing yesterday when I was playing around with those first set of top coats. I have a ton of press-on nails. I'm obviously not going to use the pink ones, but I have a ton of press-on nails that are just like leftovers from sets that these ones don't fit me. Like they're either too big or they're too small or whatever. So I keep them to do stuff like this where I need to, you know, see if I can practice a blend or see if I can, you know, do whatever. So this is what I did yesterday. I just set up a bunch of press-ons for me to swatch onto, so I kind of, you know if I need to add more or whatever. And then when I'm all said and done, I can make brand new swatch sticks and we can actually compare them with the old ones. Okay, so we're gonna start here. This was actually one of the most disappointing ones, as you can see. It's got pretty glitter in it. Also though, like, the glitter in it is also so fine that you can't see it. So, you know, do with that information what you will. We'll keep this right here so we kind of have an idea of where we were and where we're going. All right, so like I said, I have alcohol inks. The first one I showed you was little bottles. I also have big bottles. I'm gonna be honest with you, the big bottles are fucking terrifying to work with. So, you know, we're just gonna put this down here so I have a place to put my brush while I need it. You can actually, there's no way you're gonna be able to tell, but let me stand it up and then I'll mark it. I used quite a bit of nail polish out of this one already, like just trying. I always like to start small and then you know, I can always add more, but you can see it right up there. And we're just gonna shake this up really well. I totally understand that in some cases it is going to alter the color. Some of these are gonna end up being a slightly different color, but that's okay. Okay, so here we are with 3 drops into, you can already tell, like, it just looks more colored. So that definitely did pink it up a little bit. I think I want to add in a couple drops of, no, that's just gonna make purple. All right, we've updated the focus. I think I'm gonna add a couple drops of this kind of like dusty dark blue. I do want to kind of get it back to this like kind of dusty purple shade. Just a little bit. Just 2 drops. We're gonna keep it real, you know. Okay, 2 drops in, shake it up. And I mean, realistically, in a science experiment, if I fuck up 1 or 2 of these, then I fuck up 1 or 2 of these. You know, the world won't actually end. While I'm shaking, because that blue is having a bit of a time. It also, another one that I got is a mixative, which is actually just pure white. And that is how I kind of made these more like almost milky shades. So I like that I have options. Yeah, this blue is having a time, but you know what? We're gonna see what happened. Let me stir it with the actual sponge, like I'm actually fucking stirring something. I'm not gonna lie to you, it doesn't look great in the bottle. We could have fucked up the very first one. Who the fuck knows? Is it just me or does that look almost the same? I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I used that Monsoon shade oh, actually tonally, we're almost back there. We're gonna give that a second, see what 2 coats looks like. I used this one last night. That was one of the first ones that I used. This one was actually the first one that I made. And it looks like such a dark blue that when I first added it, I was like, oh, I'm gonna make this like beautiful, rich, dark blue jelly. Like kind of like real cool tone, like cloudy jelly. I added so many drops and it did nothing. Like absolutely nothing. And so then I started adding more shit, and then I was just playing science experiment. I'm sorry, I swatched that off camera. It is still very sheer. But with that being said, this is 2 coats, and this is 4. Ignore the hair, please. There's already a lot more substance here. So, I think I'm gonna maybe come back to this one at the end. We'll kind of see where we are with especially these 2, because I may just be able to play science and, I don't know, change this one even more. All right, next up, we have Pink Pour. She's got more color than the last one, but not by much. And then I also just have, it's called Flamingo. This actually looks like it should be perfect. Although I will say that this color right here is how I ended up with that like neon orange shade. And I do want to point out that in the clears, I put a lot more drops in here than I did into here. But also I am starting with a little bit of a base in these, just a little bit. Okay. I feel like that needs more. Like, just immediately feel like that just needs more. I don't mind building up jellies, like doing a couple coats or anything like that, but I don't ever want to have to do 4 fucking coats. Like, that is insane work to me. Obviously, with that being said, please be careful when you're doing this. Okay, we're just gonna coat this right on top of here. Did that change anything? I feel like tonally we have not budged, which is perfection, but I just want a little more, you know? Like I want a little bit more substance to it. I can tell you right now that these are not the bottles that I will be adding any of that like milky white into. It's so funny to me that this specific color of ink actually turns like orange in the bottle. See, it turned it orange. But it doesn't come out orange. I don't know what to tell you. I just want to see what 2 coats would look like before I decide if I want to maybe add in a second color or something like that. We'll come back. I think that's going to be a theme of these. Now see, this one's actually pretty pigmented, so I don't think we'll have too much we have to worry about here. This is like a pinky red. So we're going to start out with Poppy Field, and I may add in a touch of Gumball. It was something that I noticed specifically about the pinks of these inks is not, they're a little harder to work with, I want to say. I don't really know how to explain it. They have a very strong orange base, which is confusing to my brain. I will say, by the way, that adding the inks isn't like affecting the drying time or any part of this. I only added 3 drops of red into this one. See, look at that. Look at that. That is 1 fucking coat. And yes, did it alter the color to be more red than pink? It did. Do I like it more as red? I do. I have this color already or something very similar to it. I also have, you know, these two as well. Well, that one was easy. I love that. See, I knew we'd get a win off of at least one. I'm gonna toss a second coat on here just so we can see what it looks like now, and then, yeah, big fan of that change. So you can see I do have, these are actually jellies that I used for liners. So I have a red, but this is almost more of like a pinky red. It's kind of somewhere in between those two. That's fine. This one's got glitter in it. All right, next up, we got orange. Orange will also...
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
I didn't ask for your help, to be fair. Yeah, we have orange. Should be easy because I have orange. I actually haven't used this one yet. The orange that I made was on accident. Okay, well, a couple extra drops shot out of there, so yeah, this maybe end up being a little bit more pigmented than I had planned. I told you, the big bottles are kind of fucking scary. Okay, I don't even know how many drops was in here, because like I said, she kind of shot out a little bit. Ooh, oh yeah. Okay, yeah, while I wait for this little coat to dry so I can do a second coat for you guys, this one. So where I started, for some silly goofy reason, I grabbed honeycomb first. A couple drops of honeycomb into clear. I made pee, like dehydrated pee, like you should see a doctor kind of pee, and I was like, I gotta fix this. So I started adding red, and I was like, I guess I'll make orange, which is so funny because I had orange, so in theory I didn't need to buy this because clearly I can make it. But see, that's what I'm talking about. This is what I thought that I was getting from Sally, not the fucking LaCroix of jelly nail polish. There you go. 1 coat versus 4 coats. And 1 coat and 2 coats. That's how we like to see it. And the fun thing about this is, you know, say halfway through this bottle, or at some point in the process of these bottles, I'm like, you know what? I want to change this a little bit. I want to make it a lot more orangey or a lot more pinky. Then I have the tools now. I can't remember if I've said this already, but you know, this does, you know, I do just want to remind y'all, if you decide to partake, please be careful. These inks will absolutely stain whatever they touch. You know, they are alcohol inks, so they are, you know, all of those things. I feel like it's going to be hard to tell with the yellow, like in the bottle, like are you more yellow or are you less yellow? Because it already looked pretty yellow, but there we go. I matched that 1-to-1, 1 coat versus 4 coats. I love it here. I will just add in that as excited as I am to be able to, you know, fix these, I'm also just really excited to play mad scientist with a bunch of clear nail polishes. All right, we got 4 coats of the original, 2 coats of the new, 1 coat of the new. We're golden. My mom just called me to inform me that she was only able to get a hold of 2 of the clear nail polishes, and she was like, but I have to go to a different Walmart tomorrow because they didn't have the thing I needed either. So she's gonna look for more. All right, green. I will say that this green is definitely a little bit more of like a grassy green, but that's okay because I did make, like I said, that like emerald green, so it's nice to have a little bit of variety. It also got like a slate color, nice gray, and there's a black floating around here. There it is. Also got a black as well, which I used the black on a couple of the ones that I made last night to like really deepen them up. You know, just like a drop here, a drop there. But I also picked up an Essie black jelly, and it's not as disappointing, but it does need a little bit more. So, where are we? There we are. Okay, see, myself personally, that is a little too yellow-green for my liking. I'm not loving that. So, I think I'm going to add in some Laguna, which is going to have green undertones to it anyway. And if I end up with like a little bit more of a tealy blue, then I end up with a little bit more of a tealy blue. That's okay. Or tealy green, I should say. I don't know. Okay, so I did 4 Laguna, and I am going to add in just a couple more green. 3, sure, I don't know. Oh, we got our first drip off the stick. Our first little glob. I love the way, like these right here, I love the way that a drop of jelly polish looks. It looks like a little piece of candy. Makes me happy. But see, obviously you can tell it's already as pigmented, or I guess more pigmented than it was originally. I have a feeling I made emerald green. Nope. Oh, that's perfect. It's not as dark as the other one, because that one I did add black to. But, Jesus Christ, I shook this too much and now there's so much polish all over it. We have like a true grassy green. That's better. Where's my original, my other swatch sticks? There they are. Just for comparison, there's the one I made, which has got like definitely a bit more depth to it. And I could always, you know, tweak that one as well. It is, you know, it's having a bit of a time blending. I'll be interested to see how like these settle over time. My camera was gonna die, and I'm gonna be honest with you, the process to change, like to take my camera on and off of what I have this set up on is not easy. Okay, there's 2 coats compared to 1 coat with just the green, and compared to how it looked originally, and also just for funsies compared to what I made. I might add probably like some more something to that one. I don't know, we'll see. We're straight up just glacier blue, which I think is going to be perfect. Like, I think this is going to be another one that we're just going to be able to nail right out of the gate. Oh, it has like pinky sparkles in it. I think more than likely at the end of the day, probably what I'll do is I will compare a lot of these towards like my Cirque jellies and like all of the ones that I already have, so that I know if I need to make any alterations to these to not make it so that I have, you know, duplicates across the board. Especially like, you know, how I had said, oh, I have this red one that is very similar. See if I can maybe tweak some situations. Who knows, maybe I'll add a couple red drops to my Cirque ones to make them even more pigmented. Who knows? Probably not. I probably would not do that, I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, so we are 1-to-1 right here with just some more blue drippies. I'm trying to figure out how I got these blue drippies here. Maybe I'll find it in the footage. What happened there? It's going to be a little bit harder. You'll be able to tell right. Is that? No, it's not. You'll be able to tell really well right there. That right there is Cirque Cobalt. It's also what is on my thumb. So I think, let me see what 2 coats looks like. I don't want this to be that similar. I actually like that this is a little bit lighter than that one. Like, it's similar but different, and I appreciate that. yeah, we're happy with that. I realized, you know, as I was talking through this whole thing that, oh, hey, I do have all of my swatch sticks sitting right next to me. I can compare. All right. Original, 1 coat, 2 coats. Red coat, blue coat. I mean, I guess I did kind of lie when I said we only have 2 left because I do need to figure out what I'm doing with those other 2, don't I? Regardless, though. Purple. Purple was one of the least pigmented ones. So we're gonna, honestly, we're gonna dump quite a bit into this one. You know what this one gave originally? This one gave fucking purple shampoo. It gave purple shampoo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you know what? Just for good measure, 2 drops of blue to keep it cool. 3 drops of blue because 1 more drop came out than I would have wanted. That's fine. I made that drip into the bottle. I don't know if you could see that on camera or not. I probably shouldn't be laying those down, should I? Oh, oh, oh goodness. Oh, okay. It's so funny because the ink does kind of initially stain the brush handle. I mean, you know, you can see the blue in there. Yeah, Cirque Royal Jelly is way more warm toned than this. I would call that a fucking success if I ever have seen one. All right, so let's backtrack for a moment and decide our feelings on these. Our thoughts and our feelings on these. Let's start out by finding out what happens if I add another coat to the already existing ones. So that's that one. I actually think that I like that. I think that I like this one as it is. Let's see if we can compare back. There's 1 coat versus 3 coats, which is, it's fine that 1 needs 3 coats. The world's not gonna end over that. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. I have a feeling though I'm gonna end up changing this one just because it is pulling very similar to the one that I just made. So, like for example, there's 3 coats of that versus that. But what do I want to add is the question. I want to know first of all what happens if I add just straight up more flamingo. This guy is just straight up a very, very orange tint, like a very orange heavy pink. I think I'm gonna toss in a couple drops of red. 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna be a little crazy here. 1 drop of purple. 1 singular drop of purple. What the fuck's happening here? I mean, listen, if we lose 1, then we lose 1. It's fine. Did I end up just making another red? I think I'm gonna have to just let this one be as like slightly more red than I had intended because, well, frankly, that's just what happened. And I don't really know what else I could possibly add to this. Yeah, because those ended up being nearly identical. Let's make it darker. I mean, what's the worst that's gonna happen, you know? We're just gonna play science experiment with this one in particular. I have so many pink jellies as it is that I can afford to lose. I kind of like it more like that. I feel like that somehow managed to pull it back tonally to where it's supposed to be. It's just darker, which I'm fine with. All right, so simply because my swatch sticks are still drying, here's the originals. I'm gonna line up these guys with them. Overall, I would say that this has been such a massive success. Like, genuinely, one of the most successful things I've ever done. That's an exaggeration. That's not true. But with that being said, I'm fucking pleased. I'm pleased. I hope that you're pleased. I hope that you enjoyed this science experiment video. Truly. Yeah, you know, alcohol inks. If you want to play around, do science, make pretty colors, fucking alcohol inks. Alcohol inks in clear nail polish, top coats. 10 out of 10 experience. Genuinely. And now I have enough alcohol ink to last me at least 3 lifetimes. So, you know, I'll just be here making my own nail polishes from now on. But I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Comment down below and let me know if you have ever altered your existing nail polishes in any way. I would love to hear all about it. Please subscribe if you have not already. It would mean the world to me. Like this video, ring the bell, do all the things. I hope that you guys have an awesome day. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.